I'm bisexual, probably more so pansexual, but bisexual is easier to explain.
Well-
I'm learning a lot about myself. A lot of people are forcing me to speed run learning about myself. I didn't know I was gonna have to do it so fast, but I knew I was gonna have to do it publicly. Which, in the early years, it was like I was scared of, like, I grew up in the South. Like,
Yeah.
what is everybody gonna think when I come out as, like, on
Chris
HRT?
from Mr. Beast just changed her name and fans are going crazy. A couple months ago, Kris announced she was going on hormone replacement therapy during her transition into a woman. And recently, she has just appeared on a podcast to reveal her new name. Kris changed her name from Kris with a CH to Kris with a K. And fans are mad about this. Mr. Beast continues to support Kris, but how do you feel about this?
No, God!
Kris Tyson, he features on Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. He's called all the Muslims terrorists. At the same time, he's also tweeted, Islam is a backwards religion. He's also gone out of his way just to offend Muslims, saying that Muslim women are treated like SHIT. People like this should apologize and be brought forward, and our children must be made aware. The people like this, we shouldn't be taking as role models.
Kris Tyson, friend of Mr. Beast, has posted a Islamophobic tweet, swearing and cursing the religion of Islam. It should be noted that Kris has been undergoing hormone replacement therapy, HRT, as part of their gender identity transition. This has been supported by Mr. Beast, which gives a thought that is Mr. Beast supporting a Islamophobe. The tweets are deleted. Kris Tyson must apologize.
Assalamu alaikum, how you guys doing? Check this out. This just shows that you guys are enjoying my content but you are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the notification bell, like, share, comment if you have anything to say, and also note that I do regular uploads, so be sure to stick around. Jazakallah khair. Now, look, I don't follow Mr. Beast, nor am I much of a fan of his content. I know he's very popular, probably one of the most popular YouTubers at the moment. And I know he has this entertainment type niche on YouTube, right? Um, well, for me, quite mindless entertainment, really. It's not my cup of tea. In any case, with this type of entertainment comes, of course, the fame and, of course, fortunes that, is subsequent to, I think, mindless entertainment. But and hovering around this type of scene is the liberal agenda, and the liberal agenda is quite real, right? I believe it's out to get everyone, and if it can't get to you, then perhaps your children or the youth, basically. So yes, Mr. Beast has quite a following from all ages, but definitely the young people have been, captivated by Mr. Beast's entertainment on YouTube, and as of late, his right hand man, well, you know, people who watch his videos will know that this person, Kris, is a prominent feature on his videos. Now, I don't know how to identify Kris as a man, woman person. I don't. I mean, we get into this whole debate of offending people if it is that you are not pronouncing their correct genders as they would want to be identified as. But I don't think we should care too much about this. I'd consider him a he, so for now he's a he. And Kris seemed to be this very average, normal guy. Um, I believe he has or has had, I don't know if he's still in communication with his family, but he had a family, a wife, and a kid, and so on. So quite the standard scenario or normal guy type thing going on there. But of course, we understand that he has recently come out as a transgender. He has, had his pronouns changed, and uh, the whole shebang, right, with regards to transgenderism. But do you really want to know what I think about Chris's transition specifically? Well, you see, I think there is, of course, a dark force behind all of this, especially when it comes to, this heightened fame with either the person itself or people around the famous person, right? And in this case, Mr. Beast, who has again accumulated a phenomenal amount of fame. And so, of course, I think he's bound to be hit up by some special people to, exchange negotiations. But I don't know, maybe Mr. Beast wasn't willing to be sold to that extent, or, to now change genders, Um, and I think he has a, it comes with a brand. Um, and for him to change genders wouldn't be too much of a, I don't think it would be a positive thing for his brand. So I mean, I'm not saying that, famous people are to go out of their way to change genders and to fall part of this transgender narrative, but certainly people in and around them, right? So Chris, on the other hand, maybe so. I mean, is it really the social pressure hammering down on Chris to move to this extent of changing genders? I really don't believe so. And him claiming to have had this gender dysphoria at a young age, apparently, is yeah, I don't really buy it. You know, all of a sudden there are waves of people having these experiences as children, by the way, which I don't fully believe. I will say that there is a social push for this on children, and unfortunately, their mentalities, are toyed with, where perhaps it is induced rather than occurring as a natural phenomenon. But I mean, there's debate on this, and of course, the liberal side of of society would say that this is a natural occurrence. Nevertheless, moving back to Chris, again, I don't even think that this is, again, a social pressure on him, right? I believe it's more sinister than that, right? I genuinely believe that there is something or someone holding Chris by the neck, forcing him to do this type of thing, go into transgenderism, right? Perhaps for, again, some negotiation that took place, or maybe someone is dangling something in front of him that he can't refuse. Could be money, it could be, I don't know, whatever it is. So the question is it a bribe? Is it a threat? Is it blackmail? Who knows? I don't know. But I can certainly say that it's definitely a dark world out there. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that something like this could be out in the public. Either way, this woke agenda is pushed by, mainstream, and is intended to capture the youth specifically to, furthermore indoctrinate the following generations. And this is the liberal agenda, that it just softens every generation to accept more and more of the degeneracy. Sadly, I don't see a good end to the West in general with this whole liberal agenda. And what's even more heartbreaking is the innocent children affected by all of this.
It's an evil world we live in.
The school teaches that gender is a social construct.
Is this a question?
The question is that in Islam, do we believe that if gender is what people think that it is?
Duh.
We as Muslims must stand on what Allah has ordered. If we look at the LGBTQXYZ agenda, we as Muslims cannot support this, not to make alliances. Even if they don't support our causes, we don't need them, we need Allah. Know this, that the wife of Lut, alayhi the Prophet Lot, alayhi salam, his wife was called a kafira in the Quran for her support of the LGBTQ people in the time of Qawm Lut. She didn't practice that action, but she supported those people. She's called a kafira in the Quran.
Look at it like this. You get a personal affiliation, and then you get a political affiliation. Now, personal affiliation, I think, is more tricky to get around. And the reason why is because, I mean, perhaps you are, integrated with people who, conform to this type of ideologies. Perhaps it's at work, or, in some sort of social setting where, it's quite kind of like awkward to get around. And maybe it could be that, if you do express your views fully, that number one, you're obviously going to offend the person. But again, I don't think we should really concern ourselves with subjectivities rather than, but of course, don't go out of your way and be like, you this and that, and uh you conform to this homosexuality or this LGBTQ and you think it's fine, whatever. Of course, it's okay to, I think, maybe express your views in a more constructive way, with bringing out some perhaps rational explanation as to why you don't believe in it, or Islam as a whole, you don't believe in it. So, and also perhaps, when it comes to, if you have a job and you are politically incorrect, then this could affect your job. So that's one thing to consider. But then you get the political affiliations, and when I mean political, I mean bodies and entities and authoritative figures that align themselves with either for or against. And what I mean by this is, for instance, if we look at I don't know, specific US imams who belong to maybe famous institutes and so on, what is their stance on on LGBTQ, or the liberal left, or the Democratic Party, who advocate for this freedom of expression in terms of uh, exacerbating this LGBTQ agenda. So I mean, you can either affiliate with it or not. You know what I mean? And uh, I know a lot of US Muslims are caught in the crossfire between, perhaps some sections of, the Muslim society believe that we should align with the left, and the others don't think so. And there's this whole, confusion and disarray. But in any case, at the old end, I think we should, stick to what Islam is advocating for, what the Quran and Sunnah has put out for us to see and abide by.
It's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
And on that note, guys, Jazakallah khair for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, and if it is that you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.